Attack on Titan Season 4, more like the attack on Marley. So what's up guys, Foxen here. Time for the juicy stuff. Everything in the Attack on Titan manga is fair game. I'm also gonna give you my theory or explanation about why there's certain weird things in this Attack on Titan Season 4 trailer. That'll be fun. So go ahead and smash that like, just like how Eren smashed the Warhammer Titan. And definitely feel free to post any parallels or foreshadowing I missed. By the way, this video is sponsored by Bookwalker. Definitely check them out after your video for all your Attack on Titan and anime needs. Discount available for Foxen fans. First off, I do want to talk about the poster. Eren's Attack Titan here does have some Tiber jam spread on his hand. I didn't notice that detail at first, but I'm glad that he included it. Anyway, trailer time. First off, the bird shot. Anyone know what type of bird this is? Anyway, the warrior candidate birdie. For the new characters, one of the things that stands out more is really just seeing their eye color. For the second bird shot, I do notice Isayama does like to use these a lot. It's even done in the Attack on Titan Before the Fall manga. As for young Falco reaching out, from this shot, do notice the armband, the yellow color, which is supposed to be the color for the warrior candidate. I know some places tried to start a controversy last year. I got a feeling that's gonna come back again. For the actual battlefield wide shot, alright, so there's not that massive hole in the ground next to Falco. You don't even have that guy blown in half. He's totally gone. For the actual overview shot of the base, I don't know why I was expecting some white walls too. There's just so much dirt everywhere. Anyway, the other warrior candidates, starting with Udo. I really do hope that they flesh these guys out more in the anime. And then you have Zofia, really looking like a young Annie. They were pretty forgettable. Ah yes, then Gabby. So right away, she no longer is looking like the female Eren. It is hard to tell in this particular shot, but Gabby is now a brunette. In the close-up shot, Gabby does look a lot more lively, more confident. I picture her sounding quite spunky. On top of this, unlike Eren, of course, she has a different eye color. Next up, the War Chief Zeke. So this is a really interesting one. Zeke is freaking blonde here. This surprised me. If you recall, Zeke should be on his last year here. Even on the cover for this specific chapter, he had white hair. So what's going on, Isayama? Could this be a possible trailer mistake? Is Isayama perhaps retconning some of the rapid aging from the Curse of Ymir? Next up, Reiner. I've seen two popular things about this. One, people just not recognizing this guy at all. Or two, people adoring the hell out of him. A bonus one from some of you have said that he looks like the guy from Vinland Saga, Askeladd. I mean, I could kinda see it. I wouldn't be surprised if this dude was Reiner's bum-ass father. Next up, the blimp shot, and I am aware this is not actually called a blimp. As for the poor nation being wrecked by the Marley Titans. First off, the Jaws Titan, and definitely let me know if you're a fan of this guy. Notably, you can see the hardened face. You previously did see something similar in the Attack on Titan manga cover. In my previous video, I was partially joking that this guy reminded me of a lion. I mean, with the blonde mane, those jaws of death, along with how this thing is moving. For me, the Jaws Titan was pretty much whatever, but now seeing this update or this different look for the anime, it instantly made me more of a fan. Alright, getting to the Mech Titan. You could actually see the peak fanboy squad inside. You could also see each of these tank units slightly rotating around. From the Car Titan, the actual head plus the metal face mask look a little smaller. Especially the nose part that goes up. I do hope that they fix that. Previously, the Car Titan had red eyes in Attack on Titan Season 3. It's now shifted over to glowing white eyes. Also, the hair now is completely black, similar to Peak herself. Next up, the Blimp Titan delivery. Then the Titans raining down. I mean, there was so much good stuff in this trailer. It seems like this got overlooked. The only thing missing in the actual anime shot is the blimp in the background. Next up, the train. This gave me a Full Metal Alchemist vibe. As for the warships, it does appear that they're slightly updated from the manga design. Props to them for not making these CG, they easily could have. Then for the Armor Titan shielding the Beast Titan, it was a split-second shot. Most notably, you don't see Reiner's arm flying off in the distance. Next up, Porco. So I did mention I was a little surprised about this guy being a blonde. I thought his hair color was brown. Either way, I do hope that the anime does a little bit more with him. In the manga, it almost felt like he was just a placeholder for the Jaws Titan until it got passed over. Then for Best Girl Peak, she definitely looks a lot better here. Of course, you'll instantly notice the red armband, that being the one for the warrior group. Next up, Mrs. I Can Do Anything. You can more easily notice a brown hair color here. The other standout part was the color-coded train cars. This is probably one of the things that got the most updated for the anime. Naturally, there is just so much detail you could put on a page. For the anime version, there's a lot more houses, you could even see some new trees added near the riverside, and that industrial smoking area is much more to the right now. As for Gabby versus Falco, she looks a little possessed here, getting into flashback territory with Reiner, Annie, and friends. I'm actually really curious to see what they do for their flashback, but I do have a feeling that anytime they do refer back to stuff in the first 3 seasons, they're gonna have to completely redo them. Getting into depressed Reiner. So first off, the bullets. Like, I am completely oblivious with some of this gun stuff, but some of you guys pointed out that you were really happy to see that they were actually pretty accurate. Then for the Reiner flashback, best buddies coming together. Although that really doesn't match the next shot. I know some people are really craving to go back to season 1 events. I wouldn't mind if they do some OVAs for that stuff. I will tell you to focus on Eren's eyes here, they are still green. Then for Reiner, I guess he was just younger, he looks quite different. Now getting to this deeper shot, of course being one of the major changes you've seen so far. Let me just say you can call this censorship, but I really don't mind this artistic change. Getting closer to the grand event, the Hilo statue. Years later we do know that this is complete BS. I still recall people thinking this guy was potentially the first Ackerman. I don't think the door's completely closed on that. Then baseball time, this specifically being Eren Yeager tossing it up. Getting into one of the new characters, Willy. In the anime version, you have this guy looking really cold. As you know, Willy's supposed to be someone who a lot of people adore, that really is a people person. I'm really curious to see how they pull him off. So much Gabby in this trailer. For here, props to Mappa Studio for capturing pretty much every detail down to a T. As for Reiner and Falco going down to their own little basement, I can't believe we're almost here. Then the close-up of Reiner's shocked, tense face. Next up, Willy takes the stage. It looks pretty drastically different in the anime just because of the blinding lights. Then Willy's Titan history play. I guess now officially we have 3 versions of this. I'm more curious to see the Great Titan War displayed here. Next up, that poor devoured lady. Very notably, there's a lot more red here, and it's not her blood. The whole scene is far less gory. It wasn't completely the same, but Isayama did foreshadow this back in the Attack on Titan Season 2 opening. Next up, the attack on Marley begins, but I have to point out how the whole thing is pretty weird. It almost doesn't at all resemble the stage play being destroyed, which potentially could be one of these original shots for the trailer. Another explanation really is just the whole shot from a different angle. Anyway, the Warhammer Titan transformation. I did look at this frame by frame, but it's still too hard to tell whether this thing is CG or hand-drawn. Either way, they did get it down that the Warhammer Titan is forming from the top to bottom. For the actual Warhammer Titan, baby blue eyes. You got that white skin-tight suit, the delicious red filling. In the anime, you can actually see the Titan Crystal hammer forming. This does mean that the Warhammer Titan does make this stuff extremely quickly. For the second shot of this, you can see Eren's Titan in the background. Do notice you can actually spot the place where he was penetrated. Next up, the Survey Corps coming in. This was a single panel shot expanded out. In the anime, they do make sure you can see the wings of freedom on their chest. Next up, getting to the second best Ackerman, Mikasa. Look at Mikasa's neck. She's either wearing a very tight black scarf or the previous red scarf is no longer there. That would be a very interesting and telling change by Isayama. Hopefully it's not just a mistake. It is a shame, but I've seen so many people not liking her new look. I've seen Mankasa circling around, although her new hairstyle does much more match Casca from Berserk. You know my thoughts on this, I do prefer her previous look, but let me know how you feel. As for the Marley ships coming in, some slight changes here and there for the ships. I did notice some guns missing from the front of the first one. Then the stallion, Jean. Funny enough, some people were actually confusing this guy with Commander Erwin. I actually think the stallion wouldn't mind that comparison. Then for Sasha, this is gonna be tough. I did mention how Sasha's new hairstyle does match what Isayama was originally going for her. It's not gonna be for a long time, but I definitely do prefer how she looks now for the anime. Then for Coney, nothing too big here. I wonder if Mappa Studio is going to add some fun extra scenes with him. Alright, then getting to the Lion Titan. Yes, screw Jaws. This guy looks freaking awesome, complete with the glowing, not white but yellow eyes. You know, this is actually going to make the upcoming scene even better. Freaking badass Eren using a lion to take out the Warhammer Titan. Then for Zeke, come at me, bro. I'm sorry, but the best takeaway I have from the Beast Titan here is that this guy has no ass. Next up, humanity's strongest blonde, Armin. Look at that face. I don't know why, but he looks super weird. Then for the Car Titan tank unit taking on the Scouts. This is gonna be really fun to see. Next up, the Armin Colossal Titan. This thing is extremely hard to see from the far shot. Let me blow it up. The face, of course, is hard to see, but the chest area should be pretty obvious. Minor detail, hopefully they fix it. Then the money shot. Officially now we have 3 examples of this. In the game version, it was really just a full-on skull. For the anime, now it's actually a flesh pink color. I don't know, for me I think the other 2 look much more intimidating. The manga version gave me this more haunting, Day of the Day type of vibe. Next up, the Surikor Blimp. A little harder to tell what's going on, but I do like that they got Jean up in front. Next up, another Gavi shot. I did notice they kept the guy with his brains oozing out of this shot. As for Eren lifting the Titanic, oh, I am definitely getting a vibe from Eren Kruger. For the anime now, you can actually see the green glow in his eye. As for the Armin shell scene, you had the one from Wit Studio, the manga one, and now the new updated version. Of course, all of this is leading up into Annie. It's really just telling anime only people, hey, recall Annie, she still does exist. Alright, getting into Mr. Freedom, or should I say more like Mr. Abs. I feel like a lot of people did not recognize that this was Eren. So you have the guy with not a 6-pack, not an 8-pack, but like some of you guys pointed out, a freaking 10-pack. I don't believe that's even humanly possible. Next up, an Ackerman playing with his Titan food. There's like 1 or 2 less Titans in the shot, but the expressions are captured perfectly. For the actual Levi assault on Zeke, quite a few things about this. Levi is missing the Thunder Spears to blow up the monkey. I did notice that the gas containers for the 3D maneuver gear are now on top instead of the bottom. Is that a mistake or an update for the anime? Unfortunately, this whole Levi slicing of Titans, it does feel pretty lagging. Hopefully they do improve it. Then for the second controversial shot, Levi's face. Funny how this is the top complaint up there with Mikasa's new short style. Is this manga panel? I asked since this was supposed to be Zeke seeing this embodiment of death. Again, this is early and they do have time, but they really do need to step their game up. Next up, Levi explodes. It is really fun that we have the manga teaser to compare with. The actual manga shot is missing both of the halves of the Zeke body. I wouldn't worry about it, I think it'll be massively improved. Next up, the flower shot. This of course being after Zeke blew himself up. Next up, the Levi explosion aftermath. So in case you weren't really a fan of Levi's new look, don't you worry. You're only gonna have to endure it until the Ackerman fireworks. But seriously, I think including this might have been too much. Although to be fair, this only does last an 1/8 of a second. By the way, did you notice Hanji here? Technically, she was in the trailer. Then for the Kuku Yelena, just pure chaos is coming. Then for the very special shot, that Tree of Light, Yggdrasil in the Titan realm. Screw everything else, I'm glad they included this. Besides the actual light effect, I do very much prefer the updated look for the anime. You got more branches branching out, almost looking like roots in the sky. Anyway, getting into the trip down Titan memory lane in Grisha. So even here, you can tell Grisha does have green eyes. And then the different point of view of the Papa Grisha Titan. Yes, for this one you can see the Frida Titan head on the ground. Of course, all the crushed Rei's family kids and the wife, I don't think they're gonna show that. Next up, little Ymir getting the finger. She's the devil. So I do have to point out, they messed this up. Unlike the manga panel, which has 13 fingers, of course being a reference to the Curse of Ymir, how do you mess this up? The anime has 14 fingers. Get that extra sausage out of there. And then Ymir falling into the mysterious Titan tree. Seeing this really made me think Alice going down the rabbit hole, except horribly gone wrong. In the anime you can't see the arrows sticking out of her back. The actual location is this blue, purplish liquid. Then the little Titan critter. This long thing is eerie as hell, but now seeing it glow in color, it does make me think back to whatever the hell came out after our little demigod blew up Eren's coconut sky high. I'm still super curious to see if the anime expands on this. Next up, Grisha's sister. So unless I missed it, I couldn't actually spot this scene post timeskip again. You should notice that unlike season 3 where this got toned down, this one is much closer to the original. Alright, and I was saving the best. The Armor Titan versus the Attack Titan. This scene makes almost no sense. First off, you have the Armor Titan here, which means it can't be during the Attack on Marley arc. But at the same time, if you look over at Eren, hey, it's Hobo Eren, which possibly means this was just a mistake on their end. Although if you actually look at the background, it does much more resemble the Marley buildings. First off, let me actually address this about Eren. Some of you guys have noticed that it appears that he has black eyes. I was wondering that they just changed this for the anime. Of course, black eyes should be his original color from the manga. The anime then changed that to green, although as I've been pointing out throughout this video, the earlier shots still make him look like he has green eyes, maybe a little bit darker. I'm thinking it's just the effect of him being inside of his Titan. Then for the Armor Titan here, of course this can't be back at Marley. Reiner turned into the Armor Titan Slim Edition at that time. So taking a step back, this is what I think. It is harder to tell on the Armor Titan, but if you look at Eren's Attack Titan, it does look like this thing is stylized. So either this scene could have been made completely original for the trailer, or two that I think is more likely. I have a strong suspicion that this is actually more stylized, and it's just an actual scene that's going to appear in the new opening. By the way, for any of you guys thinking that this Attack Titan looks bad, I would actually encourage you to go look back at Season 3, there are some pretty awful shots there. I think overall for this trailer, it has so many shots that appear for a split second. I have a strong suspicion that those will also be used as part of the new opening. You know, they did something similar with Attack on Titan Season 3. There were so many spoiler jam-packed stuff that appeared for a split second, that even included Barbecue Armin. So let me leave you with a prediction. Recall the Attack on Titan final panel? I think that's going to be shown or heavily foreshadowed in the new opening too. I would even toss the ending there. And really quickly, a special thanks to Bookwalker for sponsoring this video. Hey, anyone else here like Attack on Titan? Definitely check out Bookwalker for your Attack on Titan needs. They got all the Attack on Titan manga, that even includes the Attack on Titan Before the Fall prequel, along with some of the Attack on Titan guidebooks that have juicy information. Head over to their site, pick whatever you want, and use coupon code FOXN to get $5 off. You get an entire awesome book, you're supporting the series, and you're also helping to support this channel in these tough times. If you do need any recommendation, definitely be sure to reach out and ask me. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this super in-depth breakdown. Let me know what you think about my little theory here. Do you think this is something for the opening, something original, or something else? What type of fun, juicy stuff do you hope they include in the opening? Definitely like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Check out my Tower of God lore video and my Season 4 videos, and I'll see you guys later.